Kawhi Leonard had one of, if not the most weirdest career in NBA history. And he had one of the most bizarre stories in NBA history too, if you didn't know. So, with that being said, let's get into it. So, Kawhi Leonard, a high school player who played 4 years in high school, played all 4 years in high school, wasn't really that scouted during his high school years, like pretty much at all. Wasn't really a talent to look out for, wasn't really on the news pages or anything like that. He was just playing basketball, hoping to finally make it somewhere in the sport. After high school, he would play 2 seasons at San Diego State. And then after that, in 2011, he was drafted number 15th overall in the 2011 NBA draft. But first, before we get to the NBA, let's talk about his tragic backstory. So, Kawhi Leonard, born June 29th, 1991, put him at 33 years old today. He was the youngest of 5 children and grew up with 4 older sisters. And on January 18th, 2008, Kawhi Leonard's father, Mark Leonard, was gunned down and killed in a car wash. The family owned Shawn Michaels in 1998. This was the day Kawhi Leonard lost his smile. And to this day, the murder is still unsolved. Nobody knows what happened. And the fun fact was, I think it was like a day after the murder, Kawhi Leonard played a basketball game. But unfortunately, after the game, he broke down in tears. This will lead to Kawhi being much more of a quieter type of child. And of course, it would take effect on him in his adult years. But with that being said, that would lead to Kawhi Leonard becoming one of the weirdest and one of the greatest NBA players in NBA history. Let's get into some fun facts about Kawhi Leonard's career. So for Kawhi, it was kind of weird. Cause Kawhi, he didn't have that little growth spurt like how some NBA players have. Like they go from, okay, he's a player who definitely got to work on, to, okay, he's an all-star level. No, Kawhi went from, look, he's a great perimeter guy to a superstar. He didn't have that little in the middle part where he was like, okay, no, he made a huge jump quickly. So for Kawhi Leonard, he was a DPOY before he ever was an all-star. He was a finals MVP before he was an all-star. He was a NBA champion before he was an all-star. Oh yeah, might I add, he was top 10 in MVP voting before he was an all-star. So he won the DPOY. He was top 10 in MVP voting. And up to that point, he had 1 NBA championship and a finals MVP, all before he became an all-star. That doesn't make any type of... This guy, Kawhi Leonard, is just so weird. Like, he's one of the biggest what-if players, but then he also was like, you're actually seeing what he could be. It's weird, because though he's always injured, he's always getting hurt. So it's like, okay, we know what Kawhi Leonard can be because we saw it. We saw it in the years with Toronto. We saw it with his Spurs years, and we saw it with some of his Clippers years. But we just never got like a full experience of like at least 2 or 3 seasons straight of him just being one of, if not the best player in the league. Because in 2018, 2019, we know Kawhi Leonard was the best player in the league, easily the best two-way player in the league, and was just dominating the game of basketball. For Kawhi Leonard's career, he has scored less than Kemba Walker, Tobias Harris, Nikola Vucevic, DeMar DeRozan. Like, that's crazy to honestly think about, because he's better than every last one of those players, but he has scored less career points than them. Of course, he got more playoff points than them, but he has less career points than them when it comes to the regular season. And that's honestly crazy to think about. Kawhi Leonard is one of the greatest 2010s players to ever exist, and he has less points than Nikola Vucevic. Don't get me wrong, he was very good, but don't get me wrong, but come on, he had less points than him. That's crazy to think about. He had less all-star selections than Kyrie Irving and Paul George. Like, don't get me wrong, these are 2 great players. I'm just naming them because they was in the same draft class. That's all it is. That's all it is. Calm down. This season was the last time he played over 60 games. Before that, the last time he played over 60 games was in the 2016 to 2017 season, where he played 74 games. That's crazy to think about. Wow, that's 7 years without playing over 60 games. Kawhi Leonard is one of the greatest playoff performers in NBA history. We all know that. But for his playoff points average, he only averaged 21 points a night with 7 rebounds and 2 assists with 1.8 steals. For one of the greatest playoff performers ever, you would think Kawhi Leonard would average at least 25 for his playoff career, because he had multiple playoff runs where he averaged over 30. But you always have to factor in his younger years where he wasn't much of a scorer. He was just a demigod on defense. He had Kawhi Leonard at like 23, 21 years old, from 21 to 23. He had LeBron James shaking his head when he walked on the court in the 2013 to 2014 NBA Finals. You know how crazy that is. A prime LeBron James with the Miami Heat was shaking his head when he seen a young Kawhi Leonard step on the court again. That's insane. Like, I could just keep going and going. Like, Kawhi Leonard is the greatest Raptor of all time, and he only played one season with him. And I know. Vince Carter, DeMar DeRozan. Stop. Kawhi is better than both of them. I'm sorry, no. So, yes, Kawhi Leonard is the greatest player for a franchise, and he only graced them with one season. And if he really wanted to, they could have probably went back to the finals in 2020 and faced the Lakers. Were they going to win that? I don't think so, because the Lakers were on a different timing during the 2020 bubble. But Kawhi Leonard is the greatest Raptor of all time, and he only played one season for them. He showed, like, that season was the season Kawhi showed, okay, if he was ever able to stay fully healthy without no injuries, no bumps in the road, that man would have been crazy. He'd been up there with LeBron and them. Like, he would have gave Steph and LeBron a run for their money if he was able to stay healthy. He was giving Steph a run for his money in 2017 before Zaza injured him and caused Kawhi to have this little weird career where, like, he got less All-Star appearances than Kawhi and Kyrie. But then again, he has a Finals MVP. He has 2 Finals MVPs and 2 NBA championships, and he was top like 5 in MVP voting that year. And then in the year with the Raptors, he was like top 2, top 3. That's insane to think about how Kawhi Leonard's career is just so weird and sort of messed up because of the injuries. But then he was still able to become an all-time great player. So imagine if he never was getting injured. He would have had like 10 All-Star appearances, probably 3 NBA championships. Because in 2017, the Spurs could have got done against the Warriors had Zaza not injured Kyrie. But that's a different topic for a different video. With that being said, that's all I got for this video. Hey, you made this fun video. Might as well like and sub, or don't. That's your choice. But that's all I got for this video. I am